Hello everyone, it's Coolbricks here, and today I'm just going to be looking at the state of LEGO icons on the LEGO shop, and I know they still have Creator Expert listed as a theme, which is kind of crazy, but icons is much more up to date. And so I'm just going to be casually looking through here, just kind of an unfiltered um, thoughts on these sets, I guess. It's kind of lazy. I didn't want to put together a whole slideshow, and it's a lot more relaxing for me to do it this way. So let's just jump right in. I'm not going to click on all these, or this video would literally be hours long because there's so much to talk about here. But I'm just going to just quickly kind of hover over some of these pictures. So we have the new Alpine Lodge, which I think looks absolutely incredible in my opinion. I mean, honestly, guys, I don't own a Winter Village set. I'd very much like to. This might be my favorite. I think it's the largest. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the largest out of all of them, slightly. And it's remarkable that after over a decade, they've still managed to keep it at that $100 price point. Now, that's remarkable to me, guys. Sorry if you hear the fan kicking on my computer there. I got an old one. Apologies. But here we got the new Concorde, which I think looks cool. I'm not necessarily the biggest airplane connoisseur, I guess you could say. But it definitely looks authentic to the real thing, pictures I've seen. And I think it's going to be a big seller for LEGO. It's huge. I've seen pictures of it. It's a really cool set, and it's pretty innovative in my opinion. Moving down here, we have earlier this year, I believe, is the Pac-Man Arcade. This is one I'm a little bit torn on. I think the functionality is cool. The fact that you can actually make this work in LEGO and make the little guys, pardon me, I forget their name. I did not grow up with this. These little guys go around in this maze here. That's amazing to me. And the engineering, if you open up the back pops off, I believe, and there's a lot of Technic going on. This is a cool one. I feel like you can get, and so many people in the community have said this, you can get a real thing for cheaper than the model. And that, it bugs me a little bit, but nevertheless, cool set. El Dorado Fortress, another one from this year. I was never been a huge Pirates fan, but I know there are massive community of LEGO Pirates fans, and this is essentially just a love letter to them from LEGO, and it looks great. I think for what it's going for, it's a great nod to classic Pirates sets, and I think it's well done. Everything that I've seen about it, the detail is great, and it looks beautiful. Now the Atari, which is actually on sale, so if any of you guys are watching this and you want this set, it's on a decent discount right now. It's on what, $50 off. That's a really good deal. This set does not have quite the level of functionality that the Nintendo NES set did, which may be a bit of a turnoff to some. It's still going to be an icon, literally, no pun intended, but just because of that the classic nature of the game. I know people that have played the game, and honestly, I'm sure they'd actually like this set a lot. But it doesn't do a lot. It's just a cool display model, and kind of what you see is generally what you get. There's a couple surprises, but nevertheless. Moving on to the Chevrolet Corvette, and I like this one. I don't like this one quite as much as an earlier car, say the Mustang or even the Aston Martin. It's very, very smoothed off, very tiled off, which used to be very unusual for LEGO. Now they're embracing tiling surfaces more and more, it seems like. And this one is an interesting set, in my opinion. I like the look of it. It's not my favorite year of Corvette, necessarily. I don't necessarily care for the look of this one as much as other years that they could have done, but it looks like a beautiful set overall, and I would honestly love to have this someday. It's a bit pricey, in my opinion, but seems like everything is, suffered the results of inflation, and LEGO is certainly no exception to that. Tranquil Garden, I don't know much about these botanical collection sets. I believe this came out earlier this year, and it looks great. I mean, it really does. It looks good. I love how the whole thing's at an angle. I have a little temple. I think that's supposed to be a temple. Again, my terminology and some of this stuff. Why in the heck does this thing keep popping up? That's driving me crazy. I don't, like I said, my terminology for some of these words. I'm sorry, they might be off. I don't have the world's best vocabulary, but those trees look on point. Eiffel Tower. What an incredible set. It is literally around 5 feet tall, I believe. The largest, or certainly one of the largest official LEGO sets ever released. And it's a lot of gray for not being a Star Wars set, but it looks great. And it's massive improvement on the last one from, gosh, I don't know, 2006 or 8. I forget when that was. It looks gorgeous. I don't know if everybody was able to accommodate that or afford it, but it's an absolutely a statement piece, I think. Santa's Visit. This one, not quite as much a knockout, I don't think, as the new Alpine Lodge set, but it looks great. I love that light blue color, and it just looks like all around just a good set. I love how they try to kind of mix up the Christmas tree builds for each Winter Village set, do something a bit different. I like the look of this one. It's cool. It's not my all-time favorite Winter Village set, but I like the look of it. Now the Wildflower Bouquet, and I believe this also came out earlier this year. And this one, I gotta hand it to whoever designs these botanical collection sets. They always use amazing parts usage. I mean, I can see one right there. I think. Wait, are those skis? No, those are flippers. Honestly, guys, I can't. I'm gonna look at that right now. As this takes its time to boot up. What are those? Oh man, the pieces in here are so cool. I mean, the way these are recolored leaves right there. Gosh, I don't even know what all these pieces are. I mean, these are just cool sets. Great parts pack. Of course, it kicked us all the way back to the top here. Lord of the Rings Rivendell. As a huge Lord of the Rings fan, I really want this set. I just can't stomach the price. I mean, I think it's a fair price for how much you get in the set. Don't get me wrong, but personally for me, I can't afford that level as a college student right now. Maybe someday. But this set is immense. It is beautiful. I gotta zoom in a little bit. The tiles on that roof, it looks like a bear to assemble, but oh man, it looks like a beautiful mosaic by the time it's done. You have the fellowship meeting right here. Everything looks gorgeous. Like I said, I wish I could just spend a lot of time on each set, but then I'd probably lose my voice and this video would be literally hours long. But man, gorgeous. Probably one of the most beautiful LEGO sets in my opinion within the past year. Certainly the past. That's driving me crazy, that yellow banner there. But anyways, Holiday Main Street, and I believe this is last year's Winter Village set. And this is also almost one of the largest Winter Village sets as well, just 3 pieces shy of the new Alpine Lodge. And this one's cool. I know that based on some reviews I've watched, the buildings don't have a ton of depth to them, but they do look good. They fit in very well. They would appear to fit in well with the Winter Village lineup. And I love the look of that little trolley right there. Christmas tree looks good. Just a cool set, all in all, for $100. I mean, what more can you ask? The Orchid, which I am so confused as to the dates on these sets. I believe that both of these came out. I think the Orchid came out this year. I don't know. I'm really bad with these dates. It looks cool. You're getting a brick-built flower plant. There's not much more to this than meets the eye, I don't think. But I love the brick-built pot there. And these are cool. Not something that I personally need or desire to have very strongly, but they're cool, innovative sets. Same goes for the bonsai tree. I love how you can switch out the colors there. with the flowers. And oh man, that is nice parts usage right there. Pink frogs. That is just cool. And the stones in there, I believe those are stones. That's just such a cool looking set. If that was on a deep enough discount, I might be tempted to pick that one up, honestly. Here we go, the police station. Last chance, because I believe this set is retiring at the end of this year. This is from 2021. I remember when this came out. I still have not picked this one up. And it'll probably be worth a fortune on the secondary market by the time I actually get around to doing it. But I love the look of this one. It might not have been the most popular modular, I know, compared to some other sets. But I think the designer did a fantastic job. And I like the color scheme. First, I thought the tan was a bit boring when this came out, but I've really grown to appreciate this one, and I hope to get that soon. Lion Knight's Castle. Oh my goodness, one of those sets, another one. It's just an absolute, a full-on love letter to classic Castle fans, and it's hopefully something that they appreciate very much, because there is a lot to appreciate here. There is $400 and over 4,500 pieces of goodness, Lego goodness, to appreciate here. And there's a lot of depth here. I've spent good quality time examining the pictures in depth, watching reviews and videos on this, and there is a lot to this, the way it folds out. And it's just an absolute triumph of Lego design, in my opinion. It's just one of those expensive sets that is going to be hard to justify spending money on. Not because it's not worth it, it is. Just because it's kind of at that threshold to where not everybody can obviously afford it. But it's beautiful, and it's gorgeous, in my opinion. Land Rover Classic Defender. I'm a big fan of Lego Creator Expert, or I guess now Icon's vehicles. This one just doesn't hit home quite as much with me. Not just because the price, just because, I don't know. It's something about it that it looks good, don't get me wrong. I think Lego did a great job with recreating the accuracy of the real-life model. I just feel like it lacks, to me personally, it lacks the charm that something like the Mustang or the Aston Martin or even the London Bus, which I own and love that set. There's something about it that's lacking a bit. And maybe it would look a bit better if you take all this extra gear and add-ons and extra accessories off. I don't know about that one, guys. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Okay, we'll just load more here. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm enjoying just relaxing with you all and sharing my unfiltered thoughts here. So we have the Galaxy Explorer. Again, Lego reviving, at least temporarily reviving for single edition sets, or single sets on these classic themes. We had pirates and castle, and now we have classic space. And I think this is a great nod. Not a nod, it's actually a recreation, essentially, of the original Galaxy Explorer. And this looks amazing. I think it's a fantastic deal for the price. I think it's beautiful. It's an absolutely gorgeous Lego set, in my opinion, in every way. I mean, it looks, honestly, it's, in addition to Rivendell, this is one of the more beautiful sets I've seen come out from Lego recently. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to stop gushing about the Galaxy Explorer here, move on to the Back to the Future Time Machine, which I love the Back to the Future movies. And this set, I feel like, just hits a lot of those things that it needs to. It looks just like a DeLorean. I mean, Lego nailed it. Again, going with that more recent, very smooth look there. And in this case, these aren't actually tiles. I don't believe these are actually bricks on their sides, just at least for the middle section of the hood there. And the top, those are tiles, of course. But we have a ton of gear in this one, and I believe that we can we're able to recreate different versions of the DeLorean from the 3 different movies. And if I clicked on this and showed you guys around, it'd be a bit more detail there to look at. But anyways, the one thing I did read is that these gullwing doors do not stay open. So that's a bit of a problem in my opinion. Yeah, you might want to just put a little bar or something there to prop it up if you're displaying that. But again, overall a set that I hope to get someday. And it's definitely on my wanted list. Not super high up, but it's a good set. Oh, the Titanic. Oh my goodness. I mean, talk about a triumph of Lego engineering, Lego building, Lego design. I mean, it's if there's one word to kind of sum that up, it's Titanic. The set, I gotta make an exception here. I gotta click on this one. This is probably one of the most amazing, fantastic Lego sets I've seen come out within the past like 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, I'm going back a ways. I mean, this is massive. This is one of the largest Lego sets ever, clocking at over 9,000 pieces. It's absolutely huge. It splits into 3 sections. I believe it's the longest Lego set ever as well. And I'm sure there's going to be some Titanic historians and experts that are going to be like, or aficionados, I guess, they're going to be like, they missed this detail, or I've seen some sites saying stuff like that, but it's Lego. I mean, they did a tremendously good job recreating this just from bricks. And honestly, when I kind of first became a Lego fan, quite a few years ago, I mean, we're going back years, I'd always wondered, have they made a Lego Titanic? And that was one of the first things that I kind of researched when I ventured into the Lego world. And I was like, oh, dang, they haven't. Then I thought maybe they never will, just because of the, I don't know, the association with the tragedy. I don't know. I thought it's one of those things that will probably never happen. But Lego has done it again. They've surprised me, they've shocked me, and they have pulled off a massive win here. Apart from the price, which is completely fair in my opinion, just too expensive for plebes like me to afford, sadly, at this time in my life. What happened here? Okay, the whole site just oh, here we are. We're at the bottom of the results here. What am I saying? I'm panicking here. Okay, we got the dried flower. Wait, we gotta go back one. Gotta go back to icons. Load more. I don't know what in the world happened there. Okay, here we go with the loop coaster. This is one that I'm not the biggest fan of, because I was a fan, even though I never owned it. Makes me a bit sentimental to Think-U-Matic, the original roller coaster, the red and white Creator Expert one. I saw that in the Lego store. My dad almost bought that for me. Never happened. It never worked out. He actually ended up buying a modular for me, which was fantastic. But never was able to get it. This one I feel like does not live up to its predecessor. And I've seen some reviews just showing that I think the function does not work as smoothly as it could. I'm just saying, that's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true. It looks cool, and it is absolutely a massive feat for Lego to have achieved this huge, not only going around this way, I'm trying to do it with my mouse, just simply going around the track, but actually going all the way, looping. That's a big achievement in Lego, and that's cool. But I just personally don't like the aesthetics of this, just this huge, massive, very visually heavily weighted side, and then it just kind of comes out here, and there's not much going on down here other than these little loops. And I feel like the aesthetics personally I don't care for that much, and it's not something that I feel like I really need or I really want to have, especially not again with that price. I hate to talk about price here, but it's just for me, it obviously limits, and for most fans, it limits what we can afford. The Jazz Club, beautiful set, one of my most wanted Lego sets that is currently available. This is, and honestly, I might get this for like a birthday present or something eventually. It's too good to pass up on, and that's might be a bit controversial. I know a lot of people think this one is relatively loud in its color scheme, maybe a bit off-putting. Maybe it doesn't fit in with other modulars as well as some, but I personally like it, and I don't mind the look that Lego has been going for with the recent modulars, more of a modern, kind of fitting into the modern era. Some of these been a bit more American era, if you will, than as opposed to the early modulars. But I love this one. Dried flower centerpiece, kind of meh to me. I appreciate that LEGO's giving fans a little bit of everything for the botanical collection, but kind of meh, in my opinion. For me, there's nothing really stands out other than the parts. I know there's some recolors in here, and just nice parts usage overall. But as a set, it doesn't really do much for me. Porsche 911, and this set is really beautiful, in my opinion. It's white. Not the biggest fan of white cars in real life, but it's so cool you can transition it into two versions. I believe either the Turbo or the Targa versions of the car. And I'd probably stick with this version if I got it. But I love the look of this thing. And from what I've looked at in the instruction manual and in other sources, other videos and stuff, the techniques to build this are next level. And so I do want this at some time in the future. It looks great. The Haunted House, this has been around for like, oh my goodness, 4 years, I think? At least 4 years. And this one, I'm not a huge fan of this set. Don't get me wrong, it's popular. I love the aesthetic of the mansion on the outside. I'm not the biggest fan of the integration of a ride in here because it has a drop tower. I feel like they should have done a haunted house on its own and then done a drop tower ride on its own, which is what many of us thought we were getting, just a drop tower when we heard that leak for the fairground sets way back when. We'd heard we were getting a drop tower. And then I was personally a bit disappointed that it was going to be integrated within this haunted house. But I know there's lots of people that love this set, and so I don't want to step on any toes here. That's just my opinion. But yeah, not a huge fan. Flower Bouquet might be the coolest looking botanical set. Really like this one. Not something I need to have, but it looks great. It looks beautiful. Succulents. Are these really all icon sets? I guess they are. They're just very low priced icon sets. This one looks cool. My family has some succulents, so I know what LEGO is trying to depict here. And it looks great. The Vespa, not a huge fan of the source material. It's not that I think the set, I think LEGO did a great job. Honestly, the set looks beautiful. It really does. The color is perfect. It looks just like the real thing. I'm just personally not a huge fan of the scooter myself in real life. Like, I'm more of a fan of, say, the Harley, perhaps, that LEGO did some years back. The Bird of Paradise. I believe this has been around for a while. It's a cool concept. It's a cool set, in my opinion. I've seen these things in real life, and it looks just like them. Friends Apartments. Never watched the show Friends, so that's pretty much all I'm going to say on this one. Don't have much to add to this. It looks good. I'm sure it's authentic. I'm not going to even pretend that I know anything about the show, because I really don't. So I'm sure it's a good set on the whole. The detail looks good. That's really all I'm going to say about that. Chevrolet Camaro. Camaro is personally my favorite car. I think LEGO nailed this one. The all-black design might be a bit jarring for some people. Might be a bit... Actually, not jarring. Might be a bit bland for some people. But I like the look of it. I think LEGO really nailed it. Again, virtually no studs on top. It's all tiled, all smooth. And I don't mind that look. I mean, I like my studs sometimes. I like seeing studs sometimes. Here and there. But it certainly looks... If you look at it in a distance, I haven't seen this one in person, but I'm sure it doesn't even look like LEGO, which is crazy. It looks just like a die-cast model. Anyways, but I do want that at some time. The pickup truck, I know this one had a lot of issues. People are complaining with color variations of the dark red. Sets would come, and different pieces, different elements would be slightly off in color. You'd have different shades, and hopefully that's not as big a problem anymore. I think LEGO tried to fix it. But this set is kind of based off of, I don't know the model, because it's not licensed. But it looks like it's from the 1950s, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a very classic looking vehicle, and there's a lot of little ups and extras here that LEGO's throwing in there. Looks good, complements the set. I'm just personally maybe not the biggest fan of this set. I think it's gorgeous. It's not something that I'm like. I'm more of a sucker for licensed vehicles. I'm not a huge fan of licensed sets. I just love the licensed vehicles. Although London Bus wasn't licensed, and I love the heck out of that set. So, I don't know. It's a cool set, though. The Boutique Hotel. Here we go, guys. Possibly my favorite. One of my favorites on this list. Possibly my most wanted set that's currently available. Even more than the Jazz Club. I love the look of this. And I personally, from what I've heard in the community, this seems like a pretty popular set, and I can totally see why. It's kind of a new take on the corner unit for modulars. It looks gorgeous. The style of architecture looks kind of Spanish inspired. This is gorgeous. It's the first proper hotel we've had since the Cafe Corner. There's been a lot of demand for a hotel. I had always wanted to see a hotel. LEGO did it. It's beautiful, and it's just so cool looking. Yeah, I have to get that someday. Ghostbusters Ecto 1, never seen the film, but I've seen parts of it. And this set, while expensive, is huge. This thing is long, and it looks great. Man, it's a beautiful set. Even without knowing being familiar with the source material, I recognize that this set is gorgeous. It's a glorious looking model. And if you didn't care about the Ghostbusters tie-in, the license, you could probably just remove all this stuff and you'd have a really cool looking classic car. It's a cool one. NASA Space Shuttle Discovery. One that I have seen rave reviews about. It's been around for quite a few years. And it may be one of the best, if not the best, space shuttles done by LEGO. It looks gorgeous. I think the last time they attempted to do anything close to this was the Shuttle Adventure from the pre-Creator Expert days. And this one just totally tops that. It's smooth. It's still some studs on it, which I like. The Hubble telescope looks great. It's beautiful. This is a good deal for $200 in my opinion. There are so many printed pieces here, and it looks great. Okay, we're got 3 more left, guys. We got Optimus Prime here. I really like this set. I'm not the biggest fan of Transformers, but this set actually transforms, and I was blown away when I realized it. I was like, okay, LEGO made it look good, but then I was like, there's no way it transforms, and of course it does. So thank you, LEGO, for shocking me once again with another banger of an icon set here. This is great stuff right here. Real Madrid. I'm not a huge fan of these stadium sets. I'm sure there's fans of Real Madrid that love this set because they love their team or they love the actual stadium. I just doesn't do much for me. Not into European soccer or football as it's technically known. The Coliseum, which is out of stock, I believe it's retiring this year. It's a good set. I mean, it really looks like the real thing. It's crazy, actually, how much it looks like the real thing, I think. But it's a lot of repetitive tan parts, so it's something I'm not sad that I missed out on it, but I'm happy to the people that did enjoy this set. And wait a second. There's sets missing from this list. Could they be in here? Yes. My goodness. See, what's up with that? So there are sets under Creator Expert. Good thing I kept this tab up. We'll skip these. These aren't really Creator Expert. But the Bookshop. Another gorgeous set, retiring this year. Also at my wanted list. Like, there's so many sets that I don't have here. Especially the modulars. I'm a huge fan of the modulars. I just don't have a lot of them. But this is gorgeous. Splits into 2 parts. Beautiful. One of my favorites. Assembly Square. I love this set. I'm actually in the process of rebuilding it right now. I had previously broken it down for storage. But wow, I am almost finished this part right here, the rooftop, almost finished. Every step has been just a new twist, a new turn. And even though I'd already built this once before, it felt like I had went out and bought a new Lego set. That's how fresh and how beautiful this experience was. Retiring at the end of the year, so if you can't afford that, it's my most expensive Lego set I have ever bought. Gotta go out and get this one. It's so worth it. The NASA Apollo Lunar Lander, also retiring this year. Looks great. Looks fantastic. It's a great set for $100, I think. It's beautiful. Those gold parts. Oh my word. Looks just like the real thing. Okay, are we... Oh, the Ford Mustang. Yeah. My most wanted Lego car ever. Icons or not. It is good. You can jack up the back. You can totally kit this thing out and make it look like a crazy muscle car. The colors, I literally have a die-cast model in these colors. Of this year. Is it this year? This is the year after this. It's beautiful. I'm running out of words to describe it. It's gorgeous. Well, that's it. So that's it. Creator Expert and Icons. Let me know what you guys think. If any of you, a single soul, stayed to watch this whole thing, I extend nothing but my great and deep respect for you. I know it's been kind of like a long rant. I just had to relax, share my thoughts with you guys on the current state of Lego Icons. I think it's great. I think there's a lot of good sets here. I think Lego's going crazy, doing a great job with so many new adult-oriented sets. And you love to see it. So, thank you all so much for watching. And just, if you guys enjoyed this, comment down below, leave a like in the video, and subscribe to my channel. Support the channel and see more content like this. I'm a little winded, actually. 30 minutes of non-stop talking. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a great day.